I want to get to the profile, but I also want to give a quick shout out to Team COG because his profile is pretty much the base inspiration, and I pretty much built it card for card. I'm somehow one card over. I don't know what it is. I think it's a 1-for-1 or something like that, which did very well. So I think a 41 build is actually pretty good. But yeah, his build is big inspiration. So there's a few changes I'm going to make personally, and I'll explain as I get to it, like what went well, what I didn't see very much, blah blah blah. But yeah, so with all that said and done, before I get into this, if you enjoy this, give us a like and subscribe down below, ding that notification bell, because obviously if you enjoy person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. And all of that is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into this profile. So starting off with, I'm going to start off with the stuff, the cards that you've seen in all of my profiles before, so you know what is the same and what has been changed for the new build. So 3 Loki, the whole deck revolves around Loki. It's so funny when your opponent just sits there and watches you do an entire combo that just all started from a vanilla. 3 Lone Fire Blossom gets you to Loki. I'm not playing Rescue Rabbit because if the Rescue Rabbit gets hit, your entire turn just pretty much ends. If like a Lone Fire gets hit or something like that, you have ways to play around that because your board is now empty. So there's a lot of cards that revolve around your board being 0, as opposed to a Rabbit who, you know, doesn't remove itself from cost as far as I know. So that gets like impermanent Ash, you're stuck pretty much. 2 Twin. Twin is fantastic. Twin helps make some odd hands very good and very playable, so you play multiples of them, and you also need one in your deck for your Sunvine sowing, so you need to at least have one in deck. And I think I'm always been a big fan of Twin, just for the fact I don't want to make sowing dead, but the fact that she can make some weird hands playable because she's there is very, very good. There was a lot of times where I had her in my opening hand and it actually helped me out a lot. Then you have your Pseudo Brick and your Luell. Mardell, there's actually a combo, finally, again, thanks to Team COG, there's actually combos and techs I'm playing in deck that actually make the Mardell in hand not completely, you know, devastating to see, and you're like, oh great, now my entire combo's ruined. So actually there's actually ways to now get her out of the hand with the text I'm playing. Now, so again, big thanks to Team COG. If you want to see his combo and how to make a Mardell in hand good, go check him out because it's actually a really good combo, and it's a really good insight on like how you can like tweak the deck around just to incorporate different techs that still make really strong end boards, arguably better than like extra linking in the other builds. Yeah, and that's what it does. 1 Sunseed Shadow. These are pretty much what you've seen in pretty much all of my profiles. Like, they're all there. This is what you see in pretty much all profiles. This is everything that's standard. The rest of this is now text that I gained from the video and some old text I used to play, but for different reasons. So the Rikkas were phenomenal. At first I knew they were good. Like, I knew they were good. But then actually testing them out in an actual event, oh my god. These cards do so much. Like, Snowdrop Rikka Fairy just helps alone is really good to play because she fixes the Mardell problem. While also just being a nice generic extender that you can just search and have in hand. Even if you don't play them Mudan. But by playing the Mudan, you get access to a really powerful trap card, which can actually stun a lot of plays. And at the tournament, like, the access to the trap was just so good. Because the back row hate isn't very prominent, and so your opponent will like imperm your Teardrop. Like, Teardrop must have been impermed like 5 times last night, like at the event. But the fact that I had access to the trap card as well meant that they still had to deal with a disruption that's going to not only negate their card but also steal it. which means that's one less body the opponent has to gets to play with, and that's very good for you because then it gives you give it back, and then you can just slash it over it, and then steal it again. And so having these cards in the deck was just really good, really strong extenders. I was always using them for XD's plays, but the fact that you can just use them for Link plays as well, depending on how your extra deck is built, it was just so good. Like, they're literally just phenomenal cards. I really, really liked them at the event. Rose Princess and Rose Girl. Rose Girl I only saw her like maybe like once or twice, and she wasn't that impactful. Like, I didn't really feel like she was doing enough. So I might take Rose Girl out. Rose Princess is like a hit and miss. Rose Princess alone didn't do much. The field spell she searches did a lot. So, I'm actually thinking of keeping the Rose Princess in just purely for that reason, that she does grab the field spell, which is a really good play starter. The fact that the fact that this deck is built around, like, I don't want to use my normal summon for my play, and there's many ways to do that. And Rose Princess getting the Cloister field spell is one of those reasons. So I'm thinking of keeping the Rose Princess in for that reason. The fact that she can also just be a free summon going second is pretty good. But Rose Girl, I'm actually thinking of taking her out because she didn't actually do much for me. And I might put in some different ways to combat back row and that kind of stuff. Ways to counter evenly matched. Oh my god. Let me just tell you guys, I got evenly matched about 3 times in the first 2 rounds. Evenly matched. Game 1. Like, what the hell? So, that's a big thing. I'm going to change the deck around for my next event. It's just ways to just stop back row hate. Like, stop trap cards. To just stop cards that will clear my board. So things like, again, evenly matched. Dark Rune or more, that also happened to me. Dark Rune or more is like, you don't really care that much because you do have like 1 or 2 back row to disrupt your opponent's plays with. And but evenly matched just was so brutal, and just like, oh my god. Game 1 evenly matched. Like, what the hell? Yeah, so Rose Girl's going to probably be taken out for something like that. For like maybe a cross-out designator, which actually did very well. So that's something I'm going to talk about in a bit with the next card, and that's Paralodic Seas. So Paralodic Seas is, if you don't know, is just pretty much here for your Rikka for Queen Strenna. I did that play once in 4 rounds. It was good, but I just felt like it was just sugar on top of what you're already doing, because your 1 card combo in this build already ends on 3 disruptions. And so the fact that Paralodic Seas doesn't really help you accomplish that, it just literally gives you a rank 4 that can turn into a rank 9. You can just naturally make the rank 9 even without the rank 4. So I might, when I get to the extra deck, I might just take Strenna out, which then means I take the Paralodic Seas out and just keep the beast, because you can make the beast using the Rikka and your Mardell. You have to play the combo around a little bit differently, but you can essentially accomplish that. So Paralodic Seas is one of those things I'm actually thinking of taking out, because it's just 3 cards in the deck that could just be used for other stuff. Again, for the cross-out designator, it's probably like the one easy thing I might make a swap for, is the 3 Xyz for 3 cross-outs. Because cross-outs in the main deck, I can naturally just stop Imperm, which is a very prominent card in the format, and just in the game in general. So just already having a natural out to stop that, which means your trees and everything is pretty much safe. But then it means that going to games 2 and 3, I can just like swap out 1 or 2 cards for a evenly match to help stop that. So that's something I'm thinking of swapping out. And but the next card I'm not taking out, and that is Cactus Bouncer. Oh my god, this card This card just, it won me an entire, again, it won me an entire match just literally on its own. The amount of people who just looked at me and they're like, what? That card's evil. I'm like, yes. And they're like, and you can search. I'm like, yes. This card, it's one of those that it does not, you will never, it's one of those situational cards in terms of like how you actually play it in the combo. Because you can't special summon it, so you have to normal summon it. But as I said before, there's many ways that this deck now just does your entire combo without your normal summon. You have Unexpected Die, you have the White Rose Cloister, you have 1-for-1. You have so many ways to do the combo without using your normal summon. You use your normal summon most of the time for your combo. But in those times when you don't actually do it, and it just goes through completely, like, cool, search Cactus Bouncer. And then you can just end your combo with a normal summon of that. So you have 3 disruptions plus a vanities in play. And it being 1800 is actually hard for your opponent to punch over it without a special summon. So Cactus Bouncer was absolutely phenomenal yesterday. Like, I love it so much. It's one of those cards that was on my mind before, but I just completely forgot about it until I saw the profile. And I'm like, what? Okay, I'll have a look at that. Put it in, and I don't regret it. Like, it's one of those things that really changes how the deck plays, and really gives you one of those unfair ways to win that you just laugh. Like, you just gotta laugh at it. It's just so good. Like, I love Cactus Bouncer. That's it for the monsters. We're playing no monster hand traps and no ashes, nothing like that. You can if you want to, as I said, like I did point out a few cards that I'm thinking of taking out myself. So those cards, if you feel like you can put you want to swap them out for hand traps, do so. Go for it. Your deck is literally 1 card plays. Like, it's so good. Sunvine Sowing. It's a pseudo starter, but it's a phenomenal card. You got to play it at 3. It's like this makes the other twin in your deck a 2-card combo. Because you're just sowing out to your level 1, you link your level 1 off, and then you can then normal summon your twin and go that way. You do have to like fit around the combo a little bit more, but you can do so. It is doable, but you don't really want to start off with this. This is what you want to search off your link 1 tree, and then it just does your entire combo. Like, your entire combo just goes off from there. Like, sowing is phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic card. It put Sunavalon on the map in terms of like a playable deck, and so I really love this card. You can drop it to 2 if you so wish, but I do like playing it 3 because it is a protection from grave as well, and going turn 2 and onwards, it's a really good playmaker. 2 shrines, you gotta play shrine at 2 in my personal opinion. The fact you can search 2 of them in a single turn, depending on your hand, like, and how you organize your combo. Like, I was like searching 1 or 2 of these like every turn. Every combo is absolutely great. And then like, it's just so good. The fact that you want to have access to a shrine on field, so that way, if your board does get out, but the left of shrine is like, cool, shrine effect with either the vanilla, go off. Again, so good. 3 Unexpected Die, absolutely amazing card. Saw this like every game, so good. The starting off your play with Unexpected Die and having it go through is just like, good luck now. It's just, you get that feeling, like, not to sound bad, like, you get that feeling. It's just like, yeah, mate, I'm gonna go. Time to go. It's so good. And Painful Decision. I'm not playing Wealth now. As you can see, my level 1 count is very minimal now. It's like 4 level 1s. Because you don't need it. You honestly do not need it. And Painful Decision was a good swap out for the Wealth Nows when I was tutoring the deck. And Painful Decision came up a few times. It's not the best thing in the world, but it does search you your vanilla, and that's what you want access to. You just need to get to that vanilla, and that's what Painful Decision does for you. My tech that the initial profile didn't have is 1-for-1. It's like my 41th card, and I think 41 cards is actually pretty good, and the 1-for-1 was actually really nice. It's like a 4th copy of Unexpected Die for you, And you do have cards that you can naturally discard. Um, so 141 did really well for me. Like it came out like 2 or 3 times, I think. It was just really, really nice. And having that extra card to keep those bricks in your deck. Like I think I opened up Mardell once, and that's my main brick still to me. My main thing I don't really want to see in my hand was the Mardell, and I only opened her once, and I still managed to full combo. And so I felt like that 41 card did help keep her in the deck a bit more. To Avarice, unfortunately, Plant just does not have a draw card still, and Avarice is the next best thing. The Avarice was one of those cards I was just siding out every game, so it's one of those good cards and bad cards. You do burn through your entire, you do burn through most of your extra deck in your combo, but you do, luckily with this build, you leave a lot left in your extra deck, so you can just still play again if your board does get outed. It's really nice, but Avarice helps you put back your Link 1 trees, which is the main thing. Being able to put those back is very, very strong. But I'm thinking of taking one out for like an upstart. And yes, Dale, that means I will be playing a 41 card deck with upstart. You know, sue me. It's like, but it's just one of those things that you can do, you can play, and you can toy around with. Then for other 3 1-0s is the White Rose Cloister Field Spell. This card's phenomenal. Again, being able to just play without your normal summon is just so very, very strong. And being able to, I did it a lot of times using White Rose Cloister. Cool, summon my vanilla, and like, okay, go off, and it just, your entire play was just done. Monster Reborn, just generic revival extender, and Call by the Grave to stop those hand traps. For traps is 1 Bloom, 1 Sheet. Bloom came out a few times. I didn't really see it too often because I wasn't making the Link 4 very often. In terms of the Sunavalon one, I was making the Resurgent a lot more. Because I thought it was a bit stronger, especially under things like Cactus Bouncer, being able to just bounce the normal summon back. It's very, very good. I could have won a game if I did that, and I just completely forgot it. Like, my mind was just blanking a lot that night. But yeah, so Bloom is still good to have. The fact that you can actually, if you open with it, it still works under your Resurgent, which is very, very strong. The fact you don't need the Link 4 Sunavalon, you just need a Link 4. This is very, very good. And Rikka's Sheet, as I said before, absolutely phenomenal card that night. Just disrupted a lot of things. Searchable, it's just such a good card. And the last of the main deck is free Imperm, because Imperm's Imperm. And it's everywhere. As my Rikka felt and noticed. Moving on to extra deck 3 Darius. You could drop it to 2 if you really, really wanted to. But there are times where you will be playing 3 of this. And so having the 3rd copy is just very, very strong. The fact you go through 1 to 2 in your main combo, so having that 3rd one in extra deck for your follow-up play, if needed, is just absolutely phenomenal. 2 Jasmine, it's the main difference in the extra deck, barring the XCs in terms of the in the Link category. You play 2 of this, you play none of the Sunavalon Link 2, which I did miss a few times. There was times I did wish I kind of had it, access to it, and that's probably be another change once I take out the Power XCs, because then I don't need to play the Link, the rank 4 package. So I can put those Link 2s back in the extra deck, at least one of them, and then have access to that, which would feel a lot better. But 2 Jasmine's absolutely phenomenal, just makes people just scratch their heads and they're like, it's not once per turn. I'm like, nope. The search is not once per turn, or once per copy, so you're getting double searches when you link off your level 1. It's just so good. Melius, phenomenal card. Get back your vanilla, link off again, link climb even more. Melius is just so abusable. Link 4s is the Driantare and the Bengalia, the Resurgent. Resurgent was amazing. Like I may Resurgent like every match. Deliantade hit and miss. I would play it sometimes, sometimes I wouldn't. Again, there's just times where like Resurgent is just overall better, just because it just bounces. On its own, it's like its own disruption, whereas the Deliantade gets you access to a disruption. But this is just it's a disruptor. It comes back, like it just does so much. Healer in the combo, Fascia. Fascia won me an entire game, going second, and it was so good. It's a story I got to tell. So I was up against what's it? The Altergeist, and he set two. No, it wasn't Altergeist. It was Flounderies. That was it. I was up against Flounderies. He plays a Field Spun, set a card, and pass. I'm like, what? That's a bit weird. So I go and do my combo. I start my combo. I get 4 monsters on board. After doing 5 summons, nibs me. I'm like, okay, cool. Normal summon vanilla. Try and go off again. Link 1. He imperms it. I'm like, okay. Played Shrine. Revived my vanilla. Made Fascia. Fascia's X16, so I'm going second. Fascia beats over the nib, and I steal the nib. Punch for 3k. We're like 5 minutes, like 10 minutes away from time. Like, cool. So I've already now got 3k damage in thanks to that nib, and now I got 2 plants on board, and I just went off. Jasmine tribute the nib, just made my entire play. So Fascia's phenomenal. It technically, punching through disruptions, it is a playmaker, because you're only making this when you have the Darius on board. So now you've got 2 plants, and anything he steals is now tribute fodder for Jasmine. So absolutely phenomenal card. Love it so much. Just, you gotta play. It's like one of the main reasons you play this deck, in my opinion. Going into Xyz, Teardrop, Rikka, I made it every single game, every single match. Like, absolutely an amazing card. She always got impermed. And then you have your rank 4 package in Sunavalon and Hyperion. Again, I only made this once, because you only re-summon this through your Power Xyz play. But again, you can make this, but you have to use your Snowdrop and your Mardell. So you can do it. It is doable. So if you feel like you don't need the tribute of the Rikka, you can just make the Hyperion and have like pseudo Omni Negate, because you can suck up a spell at times for its material. But at the bare minimum, you're getting a monster negate. And that's it for the extra. Let me just quickly run through the side deck that I was playing, and then I'll quickly round off the matchups that I had as well. So Droll and Lockbird, I sided it in once, I never saw it. Ash Blossom with your Crossout Designator. I sided Crossout like every other game, and Crossout was phenomenal, because I was siding it in to stop the evenly matches, and it did it like 3 times. So Crossout was amazing, but it's something I'm actually thinking of putting in the main deck. Just taking out the Power Xyz for, again, so I can stop the imperms naturally, and going into games 2 and 3, I can then just side in like a 1 or 2 copies evenly matched, and then I can cross out for that as well. Ash Blossom is a bit weird, thinking, why am I only having the 1 copy? I feel like for me to use it, it's not very that impactful, but against me, it can be. So I side in the 1 copy for the Crossout Designators when I side those in as well, going to like games 2 and 3 if I feel like Ash is going to show up. For board breakers, as we'll continue the board breakers from the evening matches, we have Dark Ruler no more. And the last 2 cards, I just needed to put something in, so I put in 2 talents. I think I sided it in once. I had it in my opening hand, and I just completely forgot to play it. Like, it just sat there, and I ended my turn. I'm like, oh look, talents is there. Why didn't I use it? It's like I got like disrupted as well. I'm like, I could have used this and at least ripped something out, but I completely forgot about it. I was just focusing on the combo. I've managed to win anyway, but the fact that I could have just used this to make it a bit easier, was a bit humorous. But that's the deck profile, main, extra, and side. My matchups were, my only loss was against a Crusadia deck, but it's a very unique one because it was Crusadia DPE Artifact. You're basically just using the Crusadia engine as just like easy to summon extenders, and you just end your board on DPE with Artifact set. And that was when I did a big misplay. I completely forgot about my Resurgent. I should have bounced his normal summon at some point, which then could have completely stopped this play, and I could have won that. At least got into like a game 3. But I completely forgot, so I bumbled on that one. My next one was against Mech Knight World Chalice. Orcus is like pretty much a World Legacy deck. That was very good. I won that 2-1. Game 3 was against Altergeist. I won that 2-0. Cactus Bouncer is just too strong. The guy couldn't just like deal with that at all. And then my last one was against Flounderies. I won that 2-1. Again, Cactus Bouncer didn't win me, but that was where like the Thrasher against the Nib was just so good. I was a bit lucky that he kind of like bricked in the last one, but you know, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, you brick at times. You've got to capitalize on that, and this deck can easily capitalize on the brick, and it can punch through, as I proved, it can punch through like two disruptions, which is very, very strong. But that, guys, is the deck profile and everything, and review, and you know, everything. Hope you enjoyed it. Do apologize for the long video, but there's a lot I wanted to talk to, and you know, I'm just stoked that this managed to not only do well, but get me 5th place, technically tied for 3rd. But yeah, so 5th place on the paper. As always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.
Oh,